I haven't done a shed update in a while, so I thought I'd just give you a little tour, show you what I've been doing. But it's a beautiful day today, very mild, low 20s, and just a light breeze, and hardly any cloud. So here we go. I've been doing the cupboards in here. I got these. That one was full price, but it's just a cheap junky thing. It's just going in the corner there. And these here are the couple I got on special. They had some chips in the corners, which will be hidden once I put them all together, so that won't matter. Oh, I've got the guy coming to do the air conditioning next weekend. Oh, this coming weekend, sorry, yes. Air conditioner going there against that wall there, one over there going against that wall there, and then I've got the outdoor unit for that second one there, here, in the carton, and then the other side of that I've got the outdoor unit for the 7 kilowatts going up there above the shelving there. So I'll just show you what else I've been doing. I built a sheet goods rack and put all my sheet goods on it that I've been using for the moment. I'm just building cupboards and the like with the sheet goods, but that's okay. This is some stuff. It's got aluminium on it, and it's plastic in the middle. I use it for templates for my leather working mostly, but it's quite a good material there. It's the wood for my bench. That's still quite high in moisture, over 30% moisture, so I'll sticker it and then probably leave it there for the moment until it dries. Probably a good year off before I can use that. That's okay. There's plenty of room to store it. This is a drill press I got from Total Tools, a local tool store, and that was half price from, got to do a firmware well, I don't have to, but I should do a firmware update on it. I've ordered a keyless chuck for it. I got a keyless chuck for one of my other drill presses, but I'm not impressed with it. It's not really toolless because you need wrenches to undo the chuck. It's a bit of a pain. But I made this little cupboard for it, and I've got drills and the like in it for bits and pieces for it. There's room down the bottom for some more drawers. So yeah, that was good. That was quite a nice little bargain. It's a nice drill press. If you look online, you can see some reviews of it. It's probably one of the better drill presses that you can buy. It had in Australia, it's mandated to come with this contraption, which goes around the front and has a micro switch on it, which operates, but I defeated that and set it so that it doesn't need it. It's a oscillating spindle sander that I bought that was on special from Carbotech, our one of our woodwork supply companies in Australia. I got the DeWalt T-Stack system, so I bought a lot of this when I was building the shed, to help me build the shed. So all my fasteners are here at the moment. I don't know if that's going to stay there. I'm going to move it. This is a bandsaw. My little bandsaw. My big bandsaw is still up in the other shed. That cost me $80 second hand, and it works a treat. I've got a nice new sharp blade on it. My son put that on. He was doing some stuff, and these are the shelves. I bought this little saw from Bunnings, $70, normally $100. So when I was over in Sydney, and I've got a little Warrigal die set, and Lisa picked up these at an auction the other day, and that we picked up from a guy second hand in pretty good nick. So, and that's my Stanley 55 there. So I've put all my tools. That's the old, that's the old 3-phase motor from my from the jointer I've got there. So a lot of this stuff here is for building the shed still. Compressor over there. Now I've got the compressor going into the wall there, and I've got pipe going all around the sides, and I've got an outlet there, over there somewhere, and there. I've got outlets for the air, so that compressor is feeding all the outlets. I can just swap that compressor over if I need to. That's fine. And again, I've got the storage here, got all my power tools down here. My battery operated power tools I'm putting here, and my corded power tools are there and there. Although that little green box in behind there is that's a panel for the house. That's Jarrah. That's reclaimed Jarrah from the house to go back into the house. So that's finished. That's all ready to go in. I've got to put that in with some cord around into a little opening near the front door. So that's all my abrasives here. Bunnings were throwing this out really cheap. They were getting rid of this brand, so I bought up a job lot of it, and that's for the sander that I showed you before, the Trident sander across the way. That's all for my orbital random orbit sander, random rolls of sandpaper and stuff there. My planes, hand tools here, chisels, et al, glue and finishes, painting supplies. Some of this stuff, this is where the air conditioners were, but I've taken them out, so I'll move all of that back. That's for the kitchen and the bathroom and shed. This table saw my son gave me, Leader Crafters local supplier here. I'm just testing out these. I had to readjust that. That was slightly out of square. That's a new one. And that's close on square, so good enough for Australia. And that's a Leader Craft table. So it's okay. It does the job. This fence knocks out of square quite easily. I've got a jet down in the other shed which I'll bring up. I have them both, and I'll have different blades on either of them for different jobs. So this is my router table. It's a bit of a skew whiffy angle for reasons. It's set up to do the trim in the office at the moment, but I showed you this before. I've got power coming in here. That's a caravan socket, and power plugs in here, and it powers the router and then comes out here. So that's the switch for the router, and that's the power, auxiliary power. And again, I'm using the same drawer system here as I used over the other place. That's router bits and bits and pieces for the router table. I've got the fence system there, the W fence system, which is quite nice. I quite like it. It's a very nice fence system. That's a Moscraft grabber. It's a knockoff of the Ripper. That's mainly for the table saw, but you can use it on the jointer as well. That's quite nice. My little Festool chest. 55. That's handy for ripping down sheet goods. I've been ripping down some sheet goods. This is some more T-stack stuff. This is some more tools. I've got the dust extractor there. It's battery operated dust extractor. It's really heavy on the batteries, but that's okay. So I moved that over here to get it out of the way because it was on the miter saw there. This is the thicknesser. That's a brand new 5-force motor, and that's that there is the 20 amp plug, and that's specifically for the thickness because it needs 20 amps to run. It's got straight blades on it. Doesn't have a carbide head on it yet. I might do that later, but at the moment it's just got the straight blades. I'll put that on there for sharpening the blades. So the blade angle is, the edge angle is 35 degrees. So that's why I put that there. So that when I take them out, I can remember the angle and I can set up the Tormek to do them. I've got a jig for the Tormek to sharpen the blades in that one. That's a dust extractor. I got that from that and the jet table saw I've got in the other shed. I have to bring that up, but that'll come up here eventually. So that and this I bought from a guy around the corner from where I used to live, because he was selling all of his tools, and I think this cost me $100 and the table saw cost me $150 or $200. I can't remember, but they were both really, really good price. And that serves me really well. That's more than powerful enough for any of these machines, but I'm going to be routing the dust out there and just letting it fall into a heap outside, because our nearest neighbours are a couple of kilometres away. So I'm not going to have any problem in that respect, and it'll just compost down and go into the ground. So that's my jointer. I picked that up second-hand, Carbotech model. Picked that up from a guy that used to work at Carbotech actually, and his dad told him he had to get rid of some of his machines so he got rid of this and then picked up a combo machine from Carbotech because he didn't have a lot of space where he was. So, and I got it at a really good price, and that already has the segmented head in it, which is really nice, does a really good job. They've got the original edges on them. I haven't turned them at all. One of them did have a slight nick in it, and I had to rotate it. But I picked up a tiny little torque wrench to set the teeth in them. So that's good. So around here now is the wet area. Again, there's a bit of stuff here because I've just been doing stuff. Been quite busy building stuff and getting things finished. All my Tormek wheels are there. I've got the 3 diamonds, the coarse, fine and extra fine, 320 I think, 600 and 1200, and also the standard SG250. I left this wheel, hint, don't leave your wheels on the grinder if you leave it for more than a couple of days, because they stick. So I had a bit of a time trying to get that off, but I got it off, and I used that to sharpen an axe for my son's neighbour. And I'm now making a leather case for the axe. Yeah, so this is the same drawer system as I've used over on the router table and also the drill press stand. And also it's the same system I'm using on the Tormek, for the Tormek here, look. Now, one of the things that I discovered, and this is a hint for young players, track for young players, these here, the height of this is, the clearance in here is slightly more than clearance here. I made these 70, 140, and I can do triple height, but I haven't done any triple heights. I think double height's good enough. But I put the Tormek kits in the polystyrene cases in here and here. That's a turning tool kit, and that's the knife kit. And the reason they're not in the trolley is because they're just a tiny bit higher than, as you can see here, they're a tiny bit higher than 70. So what I'm going to do with the trolley, and this is one thing you can do with these that makes it a little more flexible, is I'm going to change the height of these four, pull out one, change the height of these sliders here, in here, so that they're a little bit higher, which means I can put my two kits in the lower two, these two kits in the lower two, right, I've got the two kits, and then in the top one, I can put the remainder of my little accessories here. I can put these in here, in there, and then I can use the bottom for the larger bits and pieces. Like I've got a little drip tray there, some spares there, some stuff there. So that's what I'm going to do there. So, but I've got to make some of these a little bit wider, so so that I can fit 3 drawers instead of the 2. And one of these drawers I'll just take out and put somewhere else, because, as I said, they're all more or less interchangeable. And so I've still got the big bandsaw to come up. That's huge. It's higher than that bandsaw. Like it's probably about 2 metres tall total. 2.3, 2.4, something like that. But it's really heavy. It's a 24-inch bandsaw, so it'll take up to 1 inch, well, over 1 inch blades. Bring it for resawing. So that'll come up. I've got my other table saw to come up. I've got the little DeWalt jointer underneath the table there. You can see when it focuses back down. Got that little one. I use that for little jobs and use this one for the bigger jobs. But it's got the straight blades. It's just I toyed with the idea of getting a spiral head for that, a segmented head for that. But I ended up buying this one, which hasn't got a segmented head either. So I'm going to build a a station for this with a long table for it. So once I've finished all my building work and I'm starting back up on woodworking jobs again. I'm already doing the occasional woodworking job, but not as much as I would do. Oh yeah, and you've seen the mezzanine up there. It's got lights up there. That's where the wood storage is. That's some of the jarrah that my son has picked up. He's already jointed it and just storing it there ready for use. So when he needs it, come down and get it. And some of it's mine, some of it's his. We sort of split it, and he's got another job lot, probably 4 times that much again that he got for nothing from a demo site. He's going to joint that in here. It's going to be the bathroom. So the join's going in there, shower's going in there. I've put this down because the shower's going to be open this side. So that's going down, a wall is going there, and a sink is going in here. Towel rails, I've got a heated towel rail to go over this side, so I've got to put some, so we're going to get some electrical put over this side. So that's all underway. And I think that's about it that I can show you. Oh, networking is up here on the wall. So I've got a wireless access point there. I've got some home pods, a couple of home pods, one here and one in the front room. So I have music here whenever I want it. Now, as far as the ceiling goes, the ceiling Still need some work on these joints to cover these joints in, put all the lightings in, all the powers in. I've got to put a couple of power lines down from there, hanging down, but I'll do that once everything else is done, I think. And I think that's about it for the shed. Not sure I can show you much more. It's where we are. It's not really set up for woodworking as yet. That's to come once I get all of my building work done, and I'll clear out all of the debris from the building work. You can see, we've got silicon, boxes of silicon here. We've got, power tools I'm using for the building work, paint and all sorts of stuff. And it's going to be, hopefully it'll be a lot. No, I haven't even got anywhere for my clamps yet. I've got clamps all over the shop. So yeah, once everything's set up, it'll all be set up quite efficiently, I think, for doing woodworking. But for the moment, it's just bits and pieces, and that scaff there, that's up because we're still doing the ceiling. Once the ceiling is done, I think I can pretty much take that scaff down and pull it all down and store it away. Probably, I think it should be able to do that. Yeah. Oh yes, and the the fan up there. Yeah, picked that up at an auction, and then I think I mentioned this before. That came from an auction. $200, which is a really, really good price, but it didn't have a remote, which obviously you need if you're going to put it up there. So what I did is I secured to the thing up there with some eye bolts. What I did is my niece was visiting the US with her American husband, and so I ordered the. You can't get jet in Australia. Nobody sells jet in Australia anymore. It used to be as common as mud, but now they've gone with other brands. I mean, Leadercraft have their own brand, Carpetec have their own brand. They're all pretty much identical products. They're all made in the same factory or group of factories in China, that just under different brand names. I mean, this here, the Leadercraft, Carpetec, Grizzly. Couple of other brands, that thing there, same as that. This, get the Grizzly manual, and it's identical, pretty much. There's not much difference except for the voltage on the motor, and the everything else is identical. Oh, and the specifications change slightly depending on which particular model you get. So all of this stuff is pretty much the same worldwide, regardless of where you get it from. So unless you look at the specialty brands, when you look at the specialty brands who did that, they roll their own stuff, but a lot of it's still made in China, just made to their own design and specifications and colours, so that they can put their own name on it. The only thing that's not generic like that here is that Tormek, which is actually made in Sweden, and it's almost entirely sourced from Sweden. So yeah, that filter, and she and I ordered the remote from who was it? Sponsor of Mark, Shannon and Matt, what's her name? The big woodworking franchise in the US. Anyway, I ordered one from there because couldn't get one here. Ordered the remote and got it delivered to her in the US, and I paid for it, and then got it delivered to her. She threw it in luggage. It's only a tiny thing. But down here, I keep it in here. And it works like a treat, so that's brilliant. So that's it, that's my shed. That's the layout of my shed as yet. The final layout, I'm going to get my son John in because he's really, really good with doing layout and workflow, things like that. He's brilliant with things like that. So I'm going to get him to help me lay it out and to work out where everything's going to go finally. But my idea is to put just here against this wall here, or not against the wall, with a bit of an aisle between the workbench and the wall. Put a workbench here, put all my hand tools up on the wall there. Have the big machines in the centre here, so that I can run boards through them. Not entirely sure which way I'll have it. I've put them this way for the moment, but might orient them the other way. Against there, I'm going to put things like the sander and the drill press, bandsaws, et al. Along that wall, with some more storage along the wall for related things for that. And then along here, I'm going to have an aisle along here. Along here, I'm going to put the miter saw with a bench along here. So I can walk through around here and around the bench the other side, and I have some of these drawers in both the back and the front of this particular island out here. So that's my plan for the moment. This is semi-portable. I can flip that down and I move it around. That's not portable at the moment, but so I'm not too sure whether I'm going to put that on casters or not. But if I do, what I'll probably do is bring that up to the same level as this and the table saws, because the two table saws are exactly the same height. And I know that because that was the outfit table for the other table saw. And that's perfect height for the outfit table for this table saw. So that and this are the same height. And if I do that, I might bring that up, put it on casters and bring it up so that it's the same height as the other, so that I can use these tables here as outfit tables for this. So if I've got extra long stuff I'm jointing, I can put it on these tables and they'll be positioned such that I can get long lengths in here and they'll come out across the table saws and there. And I'll probably put the table saws together, and I'll probably have the table saws side by side. So this table saw feeding in this towards me and the other table saw against there feeding back out the other way. That way I can have an extension there and there, so that I can have an extra long extension. So anyway, that's a plan at the moment. So yeah, that's a bit long-winded, sorry. Bit longer than I planned to be, but yeah, there we go. That's the layout at the moment, and there are my plans for this part of the shed. So I hope you enjoyed that, and see you again next time.